Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carolyn Alshouse, Executive Director of Family Voices of Minnesota. We're very happy to be able to share this special program with you this evening. Family Voices of Minnesota has been happy to be able to provide support and information to families who have children with disabilities and special health care needs and other extra needs. Families have felt more isolated and alone than ever before. And we've been so pleased to be able to provide connections for families, to be able to walk with families in their journey to find services and to network with families. We are very lucky to have a wonderful staff working for Family Voices of Minnesota. All of our staff are parents who have children with disabilities or special health care needs. We are also very lucky to have a wonderful network of volunteer support parents that are located all around the state of Minnesota that are willing to step up and provide one-on-one support to individual families. We've been able to offer monthly webinars for families on a variety of topics that families, I think, have found to be very helpful. We have those webinars available on our expanded website that offers a great deal of information and resources for families, helping them to navigate all of the complex systems that families experience when they have a child with a disability. We are very honored to have Kevin Kling join us this evening as the host of our event. So I'd like to turn it over to Kevin at this time, and thanks again for being with us tonight.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my home. I wish you a warm welcome to the 10th Annual Family Voices of Minnesota Benefit. Now, we're so glad to have you here, and I've had the great pleasure of working with Family Voices of Minnesota for the past 3 benefits, so I know firsthand about the important work they do supporting families across the state, raising children and youth with disabilities and extra needs. We have a really exciting evening for you tonight, including special performances by Tommy Barbarella and his daughter, Mariela. Now, you might be saying to yourself, now, how do I already know that guy? Well, maybe it's because you recognize Tommy from his work as a keyboardist with Prince. And tonight, Tommy and Mariela will be sharing selections from their upcoming musical, The Girl Who Cried Different, which is about navigating the tricky world of adolescence through the eyes of a 13-year-old girl with developmental disability. Now, okay, Family Voices of Minnesota hopes to raise $50,000 at the event tonight. So we appreciate any of your donations and support at any point of the evening. When you get the urge, just go for it. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Tommy and Mariela. Take it away, you two.
You know, she has a unique story, and as it turned out, a very unique ability to write songs.
Hi, I'm Mariela.
And I'm Tommy Barbarella.
Yeah, we go way back from when I was in my mother's stomach.
I don't know if, I think a lot of other kids with Williams syndrome are like this, where it's hard to get stuff out of them, even though they love to talk. It's like, so how was school day? Fine. It's probably typical of most kids, but so we often didn't really know what was going on at school. So these songs and what she was singing about became a really good insight into what's really going on at school. So we learned about some girls who were mean, some bullying, stuff like that, and some boys that were cute, and
Yeah.
all the different things that were going on in middle school, and that's kind of how it started.
you out with that. Special people like me have other things that you don't have, especially me. You might think we're kinda weird and different, but I will tell you all about special me. Special needs is a condition, something we are born with. God made us special in these ways. Sometimes I get emotional, sometimes I just get so frustrated, but that is just who I am. Special means extra kind, it means extra sad, it means extra everything. You just have to know who you're dealing with. Special people like me have other things that you don't have, especially me. If you're like me, you'll know what I'm talking about. For everyone else, this song is for you. Let's dance! Hey! Special people around this world are awesome! Special me, especially me. I like the way I am, but sometimes it's hard. But I would change a thing about special me. Special needs, special me, special on the same things as you. I know that we can do it. Why don't we just get to it? I know that we can do it. Why don't we just get to it? But I would change a thing about special me. This is the moment I've been waiting for, when I'll stand up for myself. This is the day for me to shine. I know that this may be the last time I'll ever see that mean look on their faces, but I gotta do it for me. Hit it, baby! Now I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not the shy kid looking at the floor. I am not afraid anymore. Now I can understand the people who are just like me, that get treated differently because of their disability. Oh yeah, now I'm not afraid anymore to show who I am, and then I'll shine bright like a star. For I am not afraid. I am not afraid. Now I'm not afraid anymore.
Thank you, Tommy and Mariela. Oh man, you two are amazing. It's clear that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I remember when I was 13 years old. Oh man, I wondered how I would fit in. Who's my pack? Who are my people, my family? It was exciting and exhilarating. I was on a baseball team, and I loved being part of a team, and I had great coaches, and I batted first in the lineup, mostly because I was really little, and pitchers couldn't throw me a strike. Well, I had no strike zone. The number on my shirt was tucked into my pants, so I'd walk every time, and the coach would be going, "Good eye, Kev, good eye," which was actually code for don't swing the bat. Oh man, I wanted to swing the bat so bad because in the stands was Robin Johnson, and I had the biggest crush on her. For one thing, she sat in front of me in school, J.K., so Johnson Kling. So she sat in front of me. She was so beautiful. Oh, she was also Catholic, which made her forbidden. So I had the biggest crush on Robin Johnson. I wanted to swing so bad. And Mr. Haynes, the coach, is yelling, "Good eye, Kev, good eye." So the next pitch, I just closed my eyes and I swung. And the ball rolls harmlessly down the third baseline. And the third baseman picks it up, throws it to first. Well, it bounced off the first baseman's leg. So I go around first, I go to second, I round second. I'm going to third because this might not ever happen again as long as I live. My whole team yells, "No!" And I round third as the ball goes over the third baseman's head and I hit home plate. And I remember who's running toward me. Oh, not Mr. Haynes. No, we have a talk later. No, it's Robin with her arms out wide. So I know, like most teenagers, I really put my family through the ringer. And if being a teenager isn't enough, families raising kids with disabilities have a lot of other things to consider. I mean, and life might look different for these families, but there is a whole lot of love going around. And there's also a lot of extra needs. So one of my favorite programs in Family Voices of Minnesota is the Parent-to-Parent Peer Support Program, which provides families with emotional support, understanding, and acceptance, so families don't feel so all alone. Now, this is both unique and huge, because so often you wonder, now, is everyone else going through things like this? I mean, what did they do? How did they respond? Or sometimes you just need an ear. So this makes now more important than ever to consider a gift to the Family Voices of Minnesota. Please, it's tax deductible and it really, really does make a difference. And be sure to give an amount that is meaningful to you. Because, I mean, how often do you actually get to spend money on things that mean something to you? And this is just that opportunity. Oh, and there's also an online auction here tonight at this benefit. So get a little something, something for the people you love or for yourself. I mean, hey, you deserve it. Am I right? Here's Joel to tell you more about the featured items that you can purchase at this incredible auction. Take her away, Joel.
Hi everyone, my name is Joel Listman and I'm one of the parent support navigators here at Family Voices of Minnesota, and I'm going to guide you through the auction process tonight so that you can make sure that you can get your hands on one of these fantastic items that we have up for auction tonight. Okay, now if you are watching on a computer or on a tablet of some kind, and you see up at the top of your browser, you see a tab called Catalog. That's where you're going to want to click to go see the items in the auction, but don't click there just yet, because that will take you away from this page, and I don't want you to miss any of this amazing show that we have coming up tonight. But don't worry, the auction is open until 9 p.m., and so after this show, you'll have at least an hour to scroll through everything and see what you like and bid, and hopefully bid strong. If you're one of those people that you just can't wait to see all of the items, but you also really want to watch the show, if you have a smartphone, open the camera on your smartphone and point it at this QR code right here. That will take you to the catalog site and you can see all of the items and even start bidding now. But again, you have plenty of time. The auction will be open until 9 p.m. Okay, I want to highlight some of the amazing items that we have, because we have so many things and so many different kinds of things. We have gift cards, we have jewelry, we have sports memorabilia, boy, a whole bunch of things. But what I really want to point out right now is some of the experiences that we have up for auction tonight. Because, you know, we have all been stuck inside for, you know, a year and a half. And so as we're able to start getting out and doing more things, well, we got some wonderful things for you to do. The first item, we have a week-long trip to Cancun. I mean, can you imagine getting out to Cancun? Oh, and it's so warm. It's like February here in Minnesota, but it'll be in Cancun. Now, I'm not saying you should take me along, but I'm not saying that. All right. Okay, another thing. I love this one. Okay, so donated by Jonathan O'Connor and Ann Yoakum. They were in the Peace Corps and they served in South Asia. And they are auctioning off a dinner, a South Asian Bengali feast that you will work with them to create. It's going to be for you and 8 other people. You will get drinks. You'll curate the whole meal so you can be as adventurous as you like. So if you really want to go crazy and experience duck egg curry and bitter gourd, you can do that. Or if you want to just say, you know what, I think I'm just going to stick with chicken curry and spiced potatoes and cauliflower. You know, you have that option. But this is, again, this is going to be a fantastic experience. A taste bud explosion, if you will. Another thing that we have is a trip up to Duluth. Kind of the opposite of Cancun, but also awesome in its own way. You are going to get 2 adults and 2 kids admissions to the Great Lake Aquarium, a gift card to Va Bene Italian Cafe, and 1 night stay at Fitger's Inn right there on Lake Superior. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how gorgeous that is going to be? So that one is up. Oh, and here we go. Sequest over in Roseville. Fantastic place where you can experience and learn all about different sea life. One of the things that we have up for auction is a birthday party. For your kid or a loved one, go and see all of these amazing sea animals, etc. Amongst all of the other awesome things at SeaQuest, you're going to get to choose one of these packages. One of them is you know, you can just bring your swimsuit and go snorkeling with stingrays. You know, you and a stingray, just snorkeling around. That'd be awesome. Second one, hang out with an Asian sea otter. I mean, because otters aren't cute. How could that be cool? Finally, one other option is you and a 3-toed sloth. You know, just hang out with a 3-toed sloth, doing sloth things, going, hey sloth, how are you doing? Hey, let's take 10 minutes and do a high five. There you go. That's what you get to do. Oh man, that one's awesome. You can do a wine tasting for up to 20 people with Total Wine. Great thing about Total Wine is they have locations all over, so you will work with your local Total Wine store to set that up. You'll get to choose the wine. You'll have a wine expert there to talk you through all what it is that you're tasting. You know how annoying it is when you're at a party and a person's like, oh, I love this wine. It's from the southern area of Tuscany and it has bouquets of cardamom and yeah. Well, you know what? It's really annoying to be with that person, but it's awesome to be that person. That's the opportunity you have. All right, we also have a trip to Wisconsin with a zipline canopy tour in Wisconsin. We also have Lanesboro, beautiful Lanesboro, Minnesota. You'll get to stay at the Sacred Clay County Inn and you'll get tickets to the Commonweal Theater. Fantastic theater company. Oh, it's just gonna be great. Okay, I'm gonna be back later to tell you more about some of the other items that we have up for auction. But remember, you have until 9 p.m. tonight. So after this show is over, and I really want you to stay and enjoy the show, but after it's over, you can head on over to the catalog and you can scroll through and you can start bidding. But until then, back to the show.
I'm Wendy Cockrell. We live, this is my daughter Rachel. She's 14, and we live in Mobashaw, Minnesota.
So my name is Amanda Travers. Here in our household, we have my husband, whose name is Eric, and we have a 3.5-year-old daughter named Corrine and a 10-month-old boy named Levi. Corrine is our medically complex child. We've had all the genetic testing done on her that they've thrown at us, and it's all come back normal. So we're just not quite sure what's going on, but there's definitely some global developmental delays and other things like that.
I don't consider myself her adopted mom. I'm her mom. I actually adopted her back in 2018 after my husband and I got married. She was born at 26 weeks, so extremely premature. Pretty much right at birth was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. She's, of course, you can see she's got the breathing tube. She's got a G tube. you can also see she is in a wheelchair. She's nonverbal, non-mobile.
I'd say the last few months here, we've been hitting a little more challenges with Corrine. She's starting preschool. And the older she gets, the more isolated I've started to be feeling, because unless you have a child with disabilities, you just don't get it. And it's tough to try to talk to other people that have typically developing children because, like I said, they just don't get it. So I was starting to feel a little lonely, and we are having more and more struggles. And
she lives life. She is the happiest little child you will meet. She lights up her room. You could be having the worst possible day ever. And you look at her and she's just got this big smile and it turns everything around.
I can't honestly say when the first time I've heard about Family Voices was.
I don't even remember how I heard about Family Voices. But it's been a great resource.
I think I got a newsletter or something came in the email from Family Voices because I had somehow got signed up with that or whatever. And there was a class on there for, connecting with other adults. So I had emailed them like, my kid's only like 3. Do you have a class for that age? And they're like, yep, sign up for this one, and I did.
Just to have that support of other parents who understand what it's like to have a special needs child, to understand a good day versus a bad day, and that what works one day is not going to work the next day, and that no 2 days are ever going to be the same. You've got to be flexible, you've got to be adapted.
There's another mom on there that joined us too, and it was just so invigorating to talk to other people that just got it. And other questions started arising, like I talk about different struggles I was having with, wanting somebody closer to home or wanting somebody one-on-one to be able to talk to. They're like, well, we can help you with that. And they hooked me up with a very lovely lady named Joellen that I've been talking back and forth with. So that's been great.
It is kind of nice to know, hey, like there is, it's that third Thursday, because you kind of, in a way, you almost look forward to it. Because you look forward to that. You're like, okay, this is my hour and a half where it's me. I get to take off the parent hat and just be me. Sometimes it's, I need somebody to talk to this week. This month, I need to just blurt all this stuff out just to get it out. And some months it's just, I'm just here to listen, to be support to other parents.
If you don't know what you're looking for, tell Family Voices that, and they will help you figure it out. You get on with Family Voices and they're like, well, have you checked this? Have you tried this? Have you checked with this agency? There's programs out there to help you. Have you checked with those? So I think just having that resource of Family Voices in your pocket is going to be absolutely a game changer for anybody.
Definitely, you're not alone. There's definitely very supportive. Last summer, July, she had a pretty major surgery done, and then was in the hospital. Was only supposed to be in the hospital for a couple of days. We were in the hospital. She was in the hospital for 3 weeks. Was home, was back in the hospital, was home, was back in the hospital. And it was like, okay, now let's just, hopefully things will calm down. And then in January of this year, she was back in the hospital and just was discharged from the hospital and came home 3 weeks ago. So she had spent 220 days in the hospital. During that time, it was those support groups and just the people just even just, like Jamie, just reaching out, just checking in to see how you're doing. Just the relationships, just the, hey, how are you doing today? Just that support is a big thing, because if you're not a parent of a special needs child, you don't understand what our world is like. Our world is completely different than your typical child. It's a much different world.
I'm like kicking myself that I didn't go sooner, when I was told months and months and months ago, oh, Family Voices could help you. I just didn't realize how much they actually could. And it's been like every time I've had a question now, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they can help me. And the answer has always been yes, or I will look into it. We probably can, and they've always been super great that way. I'm so excited about being part of this community now. Like, I look forward to our monthly meetings. Like, I can't wait to, get on and just chat with everybody. Because like I said, you don't get it unless you know, and you don't know unless you know. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but it's true. You don't know what you don't know, but they get it.
I feel really lucky because my family made a big difference in my upbringing. My grandmother, I remember when I was a kid, there were two kinds of fairy tales. Fairy tales I hated and fairy tales I hadn't heard yet. Because, well, it always ends up bad for the guy with a disability, right? I mean, Snow White trades in 7 perfectly good little ones for one big one. Oh, the Ugly Duckling. Oh man, I love how that starts. There's this huge duck that steps on all the other ducks, but then they find out, no, he's really a swan. Oh man, I liked it better when they thought he was a duck. There's a huge uber duck, and then I find out he's a swan. What does that do for me, a kid with a disability? I hope a ship of aliens lands and goes, no, you're really one of us. Meanwhile, I'm stuck living with ducks. But my grandmother would say, no, Kevin, a story can go any way you want it to go. That's why they were called folk tales, because they would change with the folks. So this is one of the stories my grandma told me. And it's about the day when pots and pans could talk, which indeed they still do. And every day, a man would go to the river and fill 2 pots with water and bring them home. Well, one day, a small crack developed in one of the pots. And as time went on, that crack widened until by the time the man got home, all the water had leaked out of that pot. So finally, the pot turns to the man and says, please, every day you take me to the river. Every day that water leaks out. Please, replace me with another pot. And the man turned to the pot and he said, look down the trail. And the pot looked down the trail. And on the side of the trail with the pot that didn't have a crack, it was craggy and rocky and barren. But on the side of the path with the pot with the crack, wildflowers grew. And the man said, every day you water those flowers. Every day you make my difficult journey beautiful. I think I'll keep you. And with that, my grandmother would wrap her large German arms around me and say, I think we'll keep you. So those were the stories I got from my grandmother. My grandmother made me know that I belonged. I belonged to my family, to this world. And belonging, it's one of my favorite words because it's 2 words, being and longing in the same word. It's a paradox to be somewhere and to long to be somewhere else. But that's when we are most happy. We need a nest and we need vastness. And it's especially important as a young person because you're becoming the person you will be the rest of your life. You need safety. You need risk. You need to be challenged to find your purpose. You need to think in terms of what could be. We want to fall in love. We want to have a voice in our community. We need to be part of something that's greater than ourselves. And especially, we all want to be seen. We want to be recognized and appreciated for who we are. I remember teaching in a school one time, and when I teach kids, I tell them, if you want to high five after class, we can't, but I can high 4 all day. And so they always come up and we high 4. Well, okay, one time a little girl comes up. I know why she's coming, so I go, hey, high 4. No, high 2. She has 2 fingers on one hand. So we high 2. And then I ask her teacher later, I say, how's that little girl doing? She's one of my people. I'm worried about her. And her teacher goes, let me tell you. She said, we're doing a project in school where you put your hand on a paper and you trace around it and you make a turkey. It was for Thanksgiving. Where you draw around the fingers, there are the feathers and the thumbs, the head. She said, put your other hand down and you'll have 2 turkeys facing each other. Okay, so the kids did all their drawings and they turned them in. She's going through the drawings. She gets to that little girl's, and there's one turkey with all of its feathers and one turkey with 2 feathers. She thought, God, I wonder if that's going to embarrass her if I put that up on the wall. And so she told the little girl, you know, if you want to redo your drawing and use the same hand for both turkeys, you could do that. So the little girl said, okay. She redid her drawing, 2 turkeys with 2 feathers on both sides. And I said, that kid's going to be fine. And the teacher says, oh, believe me, she's going to be fine. But what I loved about that teacher was she put all the drawings up on the wall, and there, right in the middle of all these turkeys, is a turkey with 2 feathers. I mean, there was the little girl right in the middle of her flock, like a star in the middle of her constellation. And that wouldn't be that constellation without her star. And that's what I think of families. That's what I think of Family Voices of Minnesota. We're like a constellation, and we each need to do our part. And that's why your support means so much. It has such an impact at this time. So please think about giving a donation. And I want to bring Joel back now to tell you how you can donate online and participate in our incredible auction. Joel?
Hey everyone, Joel here again, and I want to highlight a few more items. But remember, you have plenty of time. The auction is open until 9 p.m. If you really want to see some of the items beforehand, you can get out your smartphone and you can scan this QR code. That's what that's there for. But don't worry if you don't have that and you just want to hang out here, and then after you're done watching the show, then you want to see the items. That's great. You have plenty of time. All right, I wanted to highlight a couple things that are a little time sensitive. They're awesome items, but you kind of got to use them right away. The first is a Shakopee Fall Fun Package. This is for the Seavers Fall Festival, and it's 4 passes to the Fun Festival and an overnight stay at the Hampton Inn in Shakopee. Now, this Fall Festival has a corn maze, a corn pit, an obstacle course, magic shows, train rides. It has got everything you need for an awesome fall experience. However, it does need to be used before October 31st of this year. So you'll get it and you'll want to book that thing right away so you can enjoy it. Okay, next up is the Renaissance Festival. We have 2 tickets to the Renaissance Festival. However, the Renaissance Festival ends this weekend. So, if you're sitting here watching the show tonight going, man, this show is awesome, but hey, what are we going to do this weekend? I don't know. Maybe we should figure out something to do. Yeah, I don't know. How about the Renaissance Festival? You bid on this. You win it. We get you the tickets right away, and you head on down to the Renaissance Festival, munch on a turkey leg, watch some people joust, yell huzzah to your heart's content. The Renaissance Festival, it's awesome. Okay, we also have some great things. We have Vikings helmets. No, okay, I should qualify this. They're miniature Vikings helmets, but they are autographed. So I don't want you to bid on these thinking you're going to get this football helmet in the mail, and it's and then you look at it and you're like, man, Kirk Cousins has a tiny head. No, to the best of my knowledge, Kirk Cousins is a normal-sized football player, which is good because a tiny little head on a quarterback, you know, that would be hard. Okay, we also have gift cards to Cafe Latte, home of my wife's favorite chocolate cake. And we have so many other things too. We have gift cards to Noodles and Things, Quick Trip, CVS, Costco. We have some custom-made jewelry that you can get. With the holidays coming up, it might be the perfect opportunity to get an early start on holiday shopping. We have some stuff from the Minnesota Twins. We have 2 tickets to a Gopher football game. Boy, there's just so much stuff. Grand Slam Play, Modest Brewing. Oh, get yourself a beer. It'll be delicious. Color Street Nails. You know, I'm noticing here, I might need a little bit of pizzazz on my nails. That is something that I currently am lacking. All right, so I may outbid you on that. Tickets to the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. We have so many great things. Okay, I will be back later in the show to highlight a few more items, but again, remember, you have until 9 o'clock, so there's plenty of time. Until then, back to the show.
You need a friend, somebody that you can lean on. You need a friend, someone you can count on and will always be there.
it's hard enough just to reach out and ask somebody else for help. Hearing the worry and how overwhelmed they could be in their voice, and then just connecting with them and being able to let them know, yes, it's okay to speak up and ask questions. That's your job.
You know, I think about how brave people have to be to ask for help.
I completely believe in the resilience and ability of families to navigate their own lives. And part of that was to reach out to us and to see what information and support we can provide, including, again, that connection and friendship and real understanding.
Sometimes it's not always just families that derive something from our experience, but maybe the providers as well.
There's so many people that should at you. You should do this to raise your kid. Your provider is telling you this is how it should be. Your teacher is telling you this is what you need to do with your child. Maybe your in-laws or your parents are telling you what you should do with your child. But nobody's saying, like, here's what I've done and it works. And so Family Voices plays that role of helping parents connect to other parents that can be like, oh my gosh, I have a child with autism. Here's how I feed them a variety of meals, keeping everything red.
I get to just spend however much time we need to talk about it. And you're right, like so much of it is just like, let me just listen and say I get it. Like, even if I don't have the same diagnosis as your kid, I get the feelings that you're having. And I think that's what 99% of these parents are looking for, is just someone to say, yep, I got you, I've been there, and it does get better.
We're a resource. We help. We're a signpost. We're a map. You know, we help point in the direction, and we say, hey, you know, I don't know where you're going, but I know someone who's been there, who knows that journey, and so maybe they could help provide you that, you know, that the right route.
And there's a lot of families that, you know, I don't have any great resources for. It's just kind of the situation we're all in. And, you know, county workers are stressed and doctors are stressed, and, you know, there just are not enough resources out there. That's when I know that I need to have this job, because there are so many parents out there that need somebody to talk to, because these are really hard times for everyone.
And sometimes we don't even get into what their children's, you know, what they're missing in their life for their children, resources, because we're so caught up in talking about kind of themselves and how things are going for them and their other children. So it's not just about the kiddo with the special needs, it's about how family life is working or isn't working for them.
And some of them are struggling financially, trying to figure out how to hold down a job with all these kids' appointments, and that, you know, that there were services out there that could be helping you. Like, exactly, life didn't have to be so hard.
It's not a concrete service that we offer. And so unless you've experienced it, unless you've experienced isolation or frustration trying to access services, or a lack of respite and a lack of sleep, and chronic stress, then you don't understand the value of just having someone check back in with you after you reached out to say, hey, this is going on. We might bounce ideas and questions, but I'm also going to call that person back. And I'm going to say, how's it going today?
To learn about empathy, or to nurture empathy. And so it can only help those relationships that ultimately, I think, will improve outcomes.
And I think right now, in the midst of the pandemic in 2020 and 2021, and all of the uncertainty and the unknowns, it really comes back to humanity for me, and thinking that we have an opportunity to contribute to each other and to make this world a better place. And again, that's what gets me up. That's what drives me. I want to see our kids living in a world that's inclusive and loving, and that we really can connect and care for each other.
I think when you have a child, like, nobody envisions like, oh, you're going to get a diagnosis and then have to walk through what that means for your child for the rest of their life. That's not, everyone says, I don't care what it is as long as it's healthy, right? But like, what about when it's not healthy, or they do have a diagnosis? And just to hear someone say, like, we've been waiting for you and we're glad you're here, like, that was all I needed. Like, I'm going to be okay. And I think that's exactly what we do at Family Voices. Like, welcome to the club, like it's not a club that anybody would have maybe signed up for on purpose, but we're glad you're here. We're going to do it together, and we're going to help you navigate, the tough stuff.
I am Family Voices.
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 I am Family Voices of Minnesota.
We
are
Family
Voices.
All right, everyone, it's Joel back again. One last time, I want to highlight a few auction items. And again, we're coming to the end of the show. I hope you're enjoying it. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. But I want to point out a few things that we have multiples of, so that you can be one of a few people to win things. Like we have I think we have 4 Taco John's gift cards, each to like $50. I mean, I don't know if they still make potato olays, but if you had $50 to Taco John's, that's a lot of potato olays. For $50, I bet you could even go in and ask them to make potato olays for you specifically. Don't hold me to that. I don't work for them. However, I'm just saying, $50 at Taco John's, that's going to get you a lot of spicy. All right. We also have 3 classes. We have 3 packages for Arthur Miller's Dance Center. So if you have a wedding coming up, whether it's your wedding or whether it's one of your kids' weddings or a family member's weddings, there's nothing better than to get out on that dance floor and show everybody the moves that you got. You can cha-cha, you can foxtrot, you can waltz, and you'll be the one out there and everyone will be going, oh my gosh, look at them, they are just having a ball out there. Don't be a wallflower. Get one of these packages and you'll be all set. It's Arthur Murray. I mean, come on, it's Arthur Murray Dance Centers. They've been around forever and they're awesome. Oh man, okay. We also have so many other bread. We have you can get like custom loaves from Breadsmith. So go carb up on some bread and then go to your dance class. I think that's probably the way to go. All right, there are so many other wonderful things on here. I'm just like Highland Hills, Ski North Shore Railroad. Oh my gosh, so many amazing things on here. So again, the auction is open until 9 p.m. and you'll have plenty of time. You'll go to the catalog after this show is over. We're just so glad that you're joining us here tonight and supporting Family Voices of Minnesota and our mission to help parents have the items in their toolbox to help their children with disabilities or developmental disabilities become the best versions of themselves. And that's all any of us want. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and back to the show.
So now you've heard from the staff. Working at Family Voices of Minnesota is extremely rewarding, whether it's Pipestone, Duluth, Wilmer, or the Twin Cities, whether it's individual contracts or peer support groups or webinars. Just more examples of how your support today allows Family Voices to continue this incredible work and outreach. So while you're filling out your donation form, once again, let's hear from Tommy and Mariela with some selections from The Girl Who Cried Different.
Duty, don't ruin this for me today. Do you want me to shut
Well, at first I was like, yeah, I'm kind of revealing what, like, the school day was. But then, like, I thought that I was just singing, like, in song, and then I realized, whoa, this is actually what's happening, like, at school, and it gives me different emotions because each song could be, like, different topic, like drama and bullying and teasing, and then some other things would be, like, great, like making new friends, like seeing boys that are really cute and wanting to, like, have a boyfriend or something like that. And then things just started into going into musical about, like, how a teenage girl with a disability, like, what she was dealing with in middle school, and she didn't really, like, say what was going on. She was just saying, like, it was fine. Like, she didn't give any details, and I'm referring to me, but.
You're a very good interviewee.
Take two. I've got this feeling inside of me. One of the best feelings I've ever seen. I know today's gonna be my day, where I stick up for myself to those mean bullies in the school. You just gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up to ain't nobody else. Stick up right now. You just gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up for your rights. You gotta stick up right now. Today's the day where the people that get hurt will join me. Then after that, they'll be the brightest stars you've ever seen. They'll shine bright like a star and fall through the earth. And then they'll see how happy they will be after they join me. You just gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up to ain't nobody else. Stick up right now. You just gotta stick up for your rights. You gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up no matter what. So, here's the plan. We stay together as a group and confront these girls. Are you with me? Let's show them that they can't push us around anymore. We're stronger together. Let's do this. Like, what are you guys doing here? You have bullied us for way too long. Now it's our time to stick up for ourselves. Oh yeah? Are you sure about that? I think all of you secretly want to be just like us. That's where you're wrong. We just want to be ourselves. If you want to bully any of us, then bully me first. No, me first. No, me first. Bully me first. We will stand for ourselves. We are proud of who we are. You just gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up to ain't nobody else. Stick up right now. You just gotta stick up for your rights. You gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta stick up no matter what. Stick up for yourself.
Thanks again, Tommy and Mariela. I, for one, cannot wait for that musical. I can really relate to her. I mean, a little while back, I was with my nephew and I was at a grocery store and I looked down in a bin and there's a squash with kind of another squash growing onto the side of it. And my nephew turned to me and he goes, "Look, Uncle Kevin, a differently abled squash." Oh man, I love that kid all over again. And I said, "Well, which one should we buy?" And he goes, "Oh, that one. It's the most interesting." I called my sister later that night and I go, "Matt, thank you so much for raising this kid. He is just incredible." Because as a parent, you really don't ever know what's going to come out of your kids' mouths. I mean, one of my favorite stories comes from the South Sudan, and it's about a woman who takes her daughter to the marketplace and she buys her an apple, and she buys 2 apples, and she says, "Honey, you can have whichever apple you want." So the little girl took the apples and took a bite out of one, but then she quickly took a bite out of the other apple. And the mom thought, "Oh man, I thought we raised her better than that." And then the little girl handed out one of the apples and said, "Here, Mom, this one's the sweetest." You know, as a parent, you never know when one of your children will surprise you. And I cannot tell you how many stories I've heard from parents, especially parents with kids with disabilities. And this is your chance to help out those parents, give them the opportunity to provide the best lives for their kids. And you know, that's the most important thing a parent can do. So please remember, our silent auction is open till 9 o'clock tonight. Please go and bid on your favorite items. And with that, I want to close with a poem. This poem is based on the fact that we're all built out of pieces of stars. See, our planet didn't have the minerals it took to create life. So we needed asteroids and stars and planets to crash into our planet to give us things like iron. So if that's true, we're all pieces of stars. And if that's true, this is another constellation, unique and to tonight. So these are the things I've learned in my time among constellations. I've learned there are families I share my blood and families I would give my blood. I've learned knowledge is acquired, but wisdom is recognized. I've learned love thrives in audacity, dies in carelessness, and hides in simple gestures. I've learned there's the trip you plan, and then there's the trip you take. And home has gone from a place that is to one I remember to one I now create, where I know the names of the gods, what's funny, what's edible, what's sacred, and now where I would find you. So I'm looking up to the stars. And I know now, though not burning any longer, some still send their light. So I'm looking to the past and the future. I'm looking to home. And somewhere between where I stand and they send their light, we meet. Me looking to the heavens and the stars looking down at what it's like to be alive. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night. Until next time, safe travels from wherever you're watching to wherever you've fallen asleep. Thank you from my heart and everyone at Family Voices of Minnesota for your wonderful support. Good night.